welcome to Dr. V Maths. So today we are going to learn quadratic equation. So this is what we are going to learn today. Have quadratic equation confused it before? Now, all you just need to do, stay here with me for some minutes and you will learn it. You move from being confused to being confident. You solve step by step, you learn, and after this class, you cannot be who you used to be. And always know that you can drop your questions on quadratic equations and we will solve it. All right? So the first thing is we want to learn what is a quadratic equation. Equation. All right. So a quadratic equation is the equation of this form. It's an expression of this form: ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, where a, b, and c are numbers and x should have 2 as the highest power. The highest, okay. The highest. So x should have 2 as the highest power, and it should not be a negative power or an irrational power. All right. So what it's all saying is that x here, the highest power of x should be 2 for you to know that it is a quadratic equation. Now, what we've done now, what I just showed you now is how to identify a quadratic equation. Now, I'm not just going to speak English, I'm going to give you examples of quadratic equations that will not really take the standard form, but it is still the quadratic. It will take the standard form, but all these numbers will not be included and it will still be quadratic equation. So I will just show you. All right, examples. Okay. So in the examples we have x squared plus 4x minus 4 equal to 0. Now this one is a quadratic equation. It has all the alphabets complete, all the numbers complete. Now, if you have something like this, x squared minus 25 equal to 0. Now, this is also a quadratic because what makes it a quadratic is because x here has its highest power as 2. So we have only one x and the highest power is 2. So it is a quadratic. All right. If you have something like x squared minus x equal to 0. Now, this is also a quadratic. Let me check if everything is okay. All right, let me adjust. Thank you. So this is also a quadratic because the highest power of x here is 2. Then if you're given also x squared equals to x, this is also a quadratic because on writing this x squared equals to x, you have what we have here. So why I keep listing these are the mistake I see people make when solving quadratic. If you ask somebody x squared minus 25 is equal to 0, and you ask the solve, they say the answer is 2 and 5. The answer is not 5. This is a quadratic, and I want you to also know quadratic must have 2 solutions. Okay. So quadratic must have 2 solutions. All right. So just a minute. So we have been able to learn what a quadratic equation is. how to identify a quadratic equation, and then we have been able to see some examples of a quadratic equation. Okay, now the next I'm going to show you is how to factorize how to factorize a quadratic. Now, let me tell you something. If you have something like this, x squared plus 2x plus 3, I have x squared plus 2x plus 3 equal to 0. Now, these two are mathematical expressions and they are quadratic. What makes them quadratic is this x you're looking at. Now, this is a quadratic expression and this is a quadratic equation. The difference in the two is the equality sign. The equality sign makes the quadratic, makes an expression an equation. So when you have it like this without an equality sign, then it is just a quadratic. But when you have equality sign, you call it quadratic equation. So now we want to learn how to factorize quadratic. Let's learn how to factorize quadratic because you need it before you can know how to solve a quadratic equation perfectly. So let me show you how to do it. So to factorize a quadratic, we have methods of solving, factorizing some of them. Take for instance, when you have algebraic identity of this nature, we are given x squared minus 25, and you're asked to factorize. Okay, so here we can write it as x squared minus, 25 is equals to 5 squared, because 5 multiplied by 5 will give us 25. So these two are equal. Now, here to factorize here, you apply the algebraic identity that states that x squared minus b squared is equals to a plus b bracket a minus b. All right. So if we replace this, we use this method to solve here. So our x squared minus 5x is equals to x plus 5 and x minus 5. So we have been able to factorize this quadratic expression to have its factors as x plus 5 and x minus 5. And if you go back to open these brackets, you still arrive back at this answer. That is one of the way of factorizing a quadratic equation. So let me do more. So on doing more, we consider when you have we have x squared plus 6x plus 5 equal to 0. Now, whenever you want to solve a quadratic and you have that all the signs are positive, this is trying to tell you that the factors will certainly be positive. If all the signs are positive, then the factors must be positive. If we have a negative among, then one of the factors should be negative. All right. Now, take for instance, here, what we need to do here is we look for two numbers. All right. When we multiply them, when we multiply the two numbers, we should have 5x squared. Now, how do you get 5x squared? X squared times 5. Then when we add them, all right, we should have 6x. Okay. We will look for two numbers. When we multiply them, we should have 5x. When we add, we should have 6. Now, looking at here, we can do 5 times 1. We know is 5. So 5 and 1 will solve 5x and 1x. Now, if you add them, you get 5x squared. If you add them, you get 5. So you can see the both numbers are positive. All right. So that is how you factor them. It's very easy. So I'll just go straight to the full quadratic equation. Let's solve quadratic equation, and mind you are learning different methods of solving quadratic equations. So please stay tuned. So please, friends, happy if you can tell me where you're watching from and tell me how you're doing, okay? Tell me where you're watching from. I want to know where you're watching from and how you are doing. All right. So we say we are giving x squared plus 7x plus 10 equal to 0. Okay. So we want to solve this quadratic equation by factorization method. Okay. So before then, I want us to know that we have 3 methods of solving quadratic equation. Okay. Methods of solving quadratic. We have 3 methods of solving quadratic equation. Okay. So I'm going to list the 3 methods. Then I will be solving each one. So there are 3 methods. The first one is the factorization method. Factorization method. Okay. Then the second one, we have the quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. In some places, like in my country, we call quadratic equation the almighty formula. And number 3, we have the completing the square method. Completing the square. Completing the square method, right? So these are the 3 methods we can use to solve quadratic equation. So I've talked about how to factor a quadratic expression. So we're going to use this factorization to solve some questions. We use the quadratic formula to solve some question, okay? So I've been able to list the methods. So we're going straight to using the first one to solve this equation. We're not just going to use the first method. We are going to use the first and second, but I'll first of all solve it using the first method. When I come again on this method, I'll still go back to this example, solve it again using the same method so that you see that you always arrive at the same answer. Okay? So let's go with so to solve this using quadratic equation, okay? Like I said, we look for 2 numbers. Once we multiply them, all right? If we multiply them, we should get 10x squared. Multiplication of this constant here and our x squared. If we look for 2 numbers, when we multiply them, we get 10x squared. And when we add them, all right, we get 7x. Okay? So what 2 numbers are we looking at? How do you do that? To do that, we just start considering the constant. If you consider the constant, it will give you solution to this. Now we'll start with what is the smallest number that can divide 10 and 10. The smallest number that can divide 10 is 1. 1 can divide itself and you get 1 and 10. But you're going to check, if you add the 2, will it give us 7? No. If you add 1 and 10, it will give us 11. So that one is not okay. Then we are going to consider 2 and 5. All right. 2 and 5. Now, if we multiply 2 and 5 to give us 10, of course, if we add 2 and 5, it will give us 7x. Remember, I told you whenever we have the signs in the given equations are both positive, then we should know that our two factors must be positive. So that is why we are just adding. Because if you have negative here, we will not just be adding positive and positive, we will can also consider positive and negative. That is how you solve it. If you know that this math is very easy. Okay, so we have said the factor is 2x and 5x. If we multiply them, it will give us 10x. If we add them, it will give us 7x. So what are we going to do? We are going to remove 7x and replace it with 2x and 5x. Remember, they are both positive. All right. So if we do that, we have x squared plus 2x plus 5x plus 10 is equal to 0. Now, I also want to show you something. Now look at here. I did 2x plus 5x. All right. You can decide to do 5x plus 2x. We definitely arrive at the same answer. So what I'm saying, you can do 2x plus 5x plus 2x plus 10 equal to 0. Sorry, you can do x squared. So what I choose to do like this is correct. What I choose to do it this way is correct. Any way you choose to do it is okay. You certainly arrive at the same answer. Okay. So having done that, we now say here, let's work with this. So I'm going to put both in brackets. Okay. Separate it by parentheses. All right. Now we consider x squared plus 5x. We look for a number that is common or a variable. Now here, x is here, so x is common. We're going to factor x out. If we do that, we now have x squared divided by x will give us x plus 5x divided by x will give us 5. All right. We now add here 2x and plus 10. 2 can divide 2x, 2 can divide 10. So 2 is common. We're going to factor as plus 2. All right. Then 2x divided by 2 will give us x. 10 divided by 2 will give us 5. And it's all equal to 0. So let me check whether you're seeing me correctly. Okay, good. Let me adjust this more so you'll be seeing it more clearly. All right. Then see here, x plus 5 is common. X plus 5 is here. X plus 5 is here. So I'm going to factor out x plus 5. All right. We open another bracket. If we divide the whole of this place, the whole of here, by x plus 5, this one will go off. We have x remaining plus. If we divide the whole of this side by x plus 5, x plus 5 goes and we have 2 remaining. All right. And that is 0. Then whenever you have two parentheses multiplying each other and is equal to 0, it simply is saying that either of them is 0. Either of them is 0. So you can say that x plus 5 is equal to 0, or x minus 2 plus 2 is equal to 0. So we have to now solve it out to get our x. Here we have x plus 5. So when this positive 5 crosses the equality sign, it becomes negative 5. So our x is equal to minus 5, or when this positive 2 crosses the equality sign, it becomes negative 2. So our x is equal to negative 2. So the answer to this question is x equals to minus 5 or minus 2. And the answer to this question. All right. So that is, I've solved this using this this method. All right. Using this representation is not method. If I will also solve it now using this representation, so that you see that whichever one you choose to use, you arrive at the same answer. I'll just do it for this one so that you see it with your eyes. Then we go on with other things. So I'm now doing it with this other representation, okay? So let's go ahead. Like I said, put parentheses, all right? Separate them by brackets. So here, x squared plus 2x. X is common. With x is here, we'll factor x out, all right? If we do x squared divided by 2, look at it here. X squared is x times s. And we are dividing it by, x. This will cancel, have one x remaining, all right? Plus, if we do the same thing here, divide by 2, x will cancel and we have 2, plus here 5 is common. We have 5x plus 10. 5 can divide here, 5 can divide here. So 5 is common, we'll factor it out. 5x divided by 5 will give us x, plus 10 divided by 5 will give us 2, all right? And it's equal to 0. So I'm just going to show you for this particular one, so that you will notice that whether you put x on 5x here and 2x here, or the other way around, it doesn't matter. You will still arrive at the same answer. That's what I'm trying to clarify for you, so that you don't get confused on what to do. Okay. From here, we see that x plus 2 is here. X plus 2 is here. So x plus 2 is common. We're going to factor it out. Okay. So x plus 2 is common. We're going to factor it out and open brackets. If we divide the whole of this place by x plus 2 will cancel itself and we have x remaining. If we divide the whole of here by x plus 2, this will cancel and have plus 5. And remember, it's equal to 0. So, like I said, when you have two parentheses or multiplying itself and the answer is 0, it simply says that either of the brackets is 0. So we equate either of them to 0, or x plus 5 is equal to 0. Okay. So here, x is equal to, when this positive 2 crosses the equality sign, it becomes negative 2. Else here, when this positive 5 crosses the equality sign, it becomes negative 5. As you can see, we have the same answer. So it doesn't matter whether you put 2 first or the other one. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you must arrive at the same answer. Okay. So let me do one more example on factorization. So please, having said that, I want you to know that, please, I only understand English. Okay. Somebody says something. I just went to check the comment section and I saw Mera Chenelko. I understand only English, please. So please, I understand only English. All right. So we have 3t squared minus 13t minus 10 equal to 0. Okay, so we want to solve this particular quadratic equation. We have 3t squared minus 13t minus 10 is equal to, like I said, we look for two numbers when we multiply. When we multiply, we get 10 times 3t. That is minus 10 times 3t. That is minus 30t squared. Sorry, t squared. Then remember, when we add, okay, we will get minus 13t. All right. So I want to use this place where the coefficient is higher than the is greater than 1, when the coefficient of the t square is greater than 1, so that you see how to solve it. Okay, so having shown that, we are looking for two numbers. When we multiply them, we get minus 30t. When we add, we get minus 13t. And I told you guys that you are going to start considering from 30t here. We'll be looking for numbers. When we divide, when we multiply, it will give us 30. So what number can divide 30? Now 30 and 1 can divide itself. But 1 plus 30 can never give us anything around 13. All right. So we'll consider 2 and 15. 2 times 15 will give us 30. But can 2 adding them give us minus 13t? Now, remember I told you, whenever you have negative here, then the possibility that any of them could be negative is considered. All right. Because we're working with negative, we have to be considering negative while solving this. Okay, let me show you now. So we have 15 and 2. All right. We have 15t and 2t. Now, if we do plus 15t plus 2t, we'll get 17t. You see, it's not this. So fine, it will not work with that. Now, if we do plus 15t and minus 2t, all right, 15 minus 2 is 13 and it's negative. So it will not work for this. So what if you consider minus 15t and plus 2t? Minus 15 plus 2 will give us minus 13. You see, this one is okay. All right. So why am I saying this? Whenever you have negative in the given equation, consider both negative while finding the factors that you can add or multiply to give you the given numbers like we have here. All right. So we go. We're going to remove minus 13t and replace it with minus 15t or 2t. I said earlier, if you like put 2t first, it's okay. If you put minus 15t, it's still okay. You arrive at the same answer. So the way you place it should not matter. Anyway, place it, you get the right answer. We'll start from here. We have 3t squared minus 15t plus 2t minus 10 is equal to 0. All right. So whenever I go back behind the camera to look, I'm just trying to see whether you're seeing what I'm doing, because I can't see the front of the where you're watching from. So please understand that. Good. So it's clear. Then when you have that, we are going to put them in parentheses like I said. Okay. Now here we have 3t squared minus 15t. Okay. Now 3 can divide both sides. T can divide it too. 3t can divide 3t squared. 3t can divide 15t. So 3t is common. We factor 3t out. All right. Now 3t squared. Look at 3t squared. 3 times t all over 3 times t. All right. So this will cancel, this will cancel. We have t remaining. All right. We have t remaining. Okay. 15 multiplied by t divided by 3t. 3t will cancel itself. 15 will divide it to give us 5. So we have minus 5. Okay. We now put our plus sign. 2t minus 10t. 2 can divide both sides. So factor 2 out. 2t divided by 2 will give us t minus 10 divided by 2 will give us 5. And remember, it's equal to 0. All right. So we look at this place. T minus 5 is common. We factor it out. We have t minus 5. If we divide the whole of this place by t minus 5, this will cancel and we have 3t. If we divide, this is plus here. If we divide the whole of this place by t minus 2, we have 2. And it is equal to 0. Right? Like I said, when you have this kind of parentheses, either of them is 0. So we say t minus 5 is equal to 0, or 3t plus 2 is equal to 0. So from the first one, when this negative 5 crosses the equality sign, it becomes positive 5. So t is equal to 5, or when this negative 2 crosses the equality sign, it becomes negative 2. If you divide it by 3, it becomes negative minus 2 over 3. So, or t is equals to minus 2 over 3. And this is the answer to the question. All right, that is the right answer to this question. Okay, please, if you have any questions you want to ask or anything you want me to solve for you, you let me know. All right. So I'm going to solve one more example before we go to the next topic. We're going to solve x squared x 12 equals 0. Let me confirm the signs. Plus x. All right. I need to refill my ink, please. Bear with me. Now, to solve this, like I said, we are solving using factorization method, okay? We are going to look for two numbers. When we multiply, we'll get 12 minus 12x squared. Then when we add them, okay, we should get x. I have to choose this number so that you know when you have a number like this, you know that you can start considering from here, start considering with division by 1. That is division of the number here by 1. Let me tell you. Now, this the smallest number that I can divide 12 is 1. 12 divided by itself is 1. 12 divided by 1 is 12. All right, so we are going to consider 12. That is 12x and 1x. Okay. Now I told you, whenever you are given a quadratic equation and there is positive, negative, don't consider only for positive, consider both for positive and negative. Now look at this question. They say when you add, if we add 13x plus 1, we have 13x, and we are looking for x, right? If we decide to do minus this and plus this, minus 12x plus 1 will give us minus 11x. Okay. If you do minus 11 minus 1 plus 2, we'll not get what we want. Good. So it won't work for factorization. So you are going to solve this using the quadratic formula. Okay. Let's solve the quadratic formula. Now, using the quadratic formula, no, let's try more division. So So we have considered 1 and 12. It did not work. We'll consider 2 and 6. Now, if we do 2 plus 6, it will give us 8. It will not give us x. If we do, there's nothing we can do to give us x. Let's not waste time. So let's consider 3 and 4. Okay? Remember, we are multiplying to give us minus 12x squared, and we are adding to give us x. So we consider 3x and 4x. Now, minus 3 minus 4 will give us minus 7 and not this. If we do minus 3 plus 4, okay, minus 3 plus 4. Minus 3 plus 4 will give us x. All right, so this is what we are going to use. Sorry, I didn't consider that. That is what we are going to use. Minus 3 minus 3x and plus 4. All right. So if we use minus 3x, we're going to remove x and replace it with minus 3x and plus 4. So we have x squared minus 3x plus 4x minus 12 is equals to 0. All right. So put parentheses, like I said, x is common. We are going to factor x out. We have x minus 3 plus 4 is common. 4 can divide both sides. We have 4 bracket 4x divided by 4 will give us x minus 12 divided by 4 will give us 3. All right, equals 0. So x minus 3, they are common. So factor it out. If we do that, we have x minus 3. If we divide here by x minus 3, this one will cancel off and we have only x here. Please let me check if you're seeing me. Sorry. I'm just checking so to be sure that you're seeing me. I'm not seeing the back camera. Then divide both sides by x, divide this side by x minus 3, and we have plus 4, and is equal to 0. So remember when I said if both the two parentheses are equal to 0, it simply says that either of them is 0. So we have x, we equate either of them to 0, okay? Or x plus 4 is equal to 0. Now this one is not really necessary. It's not necessary. Fine. Then here x minus 3 is equal to 0. If this negative 3 equality sign becomes positive 3, so that's x is equal to 3 or x is equal to, when this positive 4 crosses the equality sign, it becomes negative 4. And that is the answer to our question. All right. So we're going to learn how to solve quadratic equation using the formula. So while using the quadratic formula, we are going to solve the exact 3 questions we have solved already using the now the first question we solved was so we have solved 3 questions. So we're going to solve these 3 questions again using the quadratic formula to be sure that our answers are correct. Okay, so I'm going to write the question so that it will save us time. Then our answer we got here is x is equals to 3. X is equals to, I will find out please. 3t squared minus 13c minus 10 equal to 0. And the first question we solve is x squared plus 7x plus 10 equal to 0. All right. So here, x is equal to -2 or -5. All right. And here, t is equal to 5 or -2/3. All right. That was what we got there. Then here, our x is equal to -4 or +3. So these are the answers we got from the one we solved earlier. Okay. So I'm going to solve this question now using the quadratic formula. Using the quadratic formula. Okay. Now, quadratic formula don't have plenty language in it. It just gives you a standard formula for solving quadratic equation. So any quadratic you solve with this quadratic formula, inputting your coefficients correctly and doing your computation correctly, you will arrive at the correct answer. That one is the only sure means of solving quadratic equation without stories. All right. So the formula states that x is equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, this is the quadratic formula. Now, this quadratic formula, what we're going to okay, Silak, I'm really sorry, I'm just seeing what you're saying now. Simple Wakai, can you please explain it again? Like, I'm sorry, I didn't look before cleaning. I don't know what you want me to explain, but I don't know if it's what is on the board you're asking. Okay, let me just explain it in case anytime you have time to come around, you look at it. Now, I'm going to do one thing because someone said, please explain it again. I don't know whether the person is asking me to explain what I wrote here down, or the person wants me to explain the one I've done before. That is one thing about YouTube. You can't see the person's comments and all that. And Tilak Raj says, sir, I have a doubt. So I don't know where in particular you have a doubt, but if you can explain, maybe you tell me where you have the doubt so I can clarify it. And simply Wakai, I'm going to just explain, let's see what I wrote on the board. I'm going to solve that number 3 question again so that you understand it better. All right, so I don't know. Now, this thing you're looking at here, this number 1, 2, 3 are quadratic equation we solved already using the quadratic factorization method. Now, this is the answer we got when we use quadratic method to solve this. I have to list it down because I want to use the quadratic formula to solve it so that we'll be sure that the answer we got using the factorization method is the same with the answer we got using the quadratic formula. That is just why I wrote it out. If that is what you want me to explain, but since I don't know, I'm going to solve this. When I finish teaching this particular place I want to do now, I will go back and solve this method. So if that is what you are asking of, so you can understand it better. All right. So let me go ahead. Now we want to solve this first equation. Now remember that the standard form of a quadratic equation is, look at the standard form of a quadratic equation, okay? Ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Now, this is the standard form of a quadratic equation. Now, I told the quadratic formula states that x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, if you're asking where do you get this abc from, it's from the standard form of a quadratic equation. That is to say, here we have x squared. The coefficient of x here is 1. So our a is 1. Now, this is bx and this is 7x. So our B here is 7. Now the constant here is C. So our constant here is 10. That is how you get it. When you get this ABC, you now substitute it into quadratic equation and you're going to solve. Now this is what we are going to be doing. If I extract the ABC from this equation, then I'll write it down. Then you help me simplify it and give me the final answer. That's how we're going to do it. All right. So please, I'll be checking more frequently so that I don't miss questions. All right. So from here, the coefficient of x squared here is 1. Solving the first one. All right. The coefficient of our x here is A is 1. The coefficient of B is 7. So as B is 7. And the coefficient of C is 10. So as C is equal to 10. So I'm going to input it here. So our x is equal to minus 7 plus or minus square root of 7 squared minus 4. Our A is 1, our C is 10, all over 2 times 1, 2A. So this is equals to minus 7 plus or minus square root of 49 minus 4 times 1 is 4 times 10 minus 10 all over 2. All right. So you're going to solve it. Tell me the final answer. Can you see what I said there? We have minus 7 plus or minus square root of 49 minus 4 all over 2 equals to 0. So tell me the final answer. So the final answer is what I'm waiting for, but let me solve it here so you see the final answer. All right. So this is equals to minus 7 plus or minus square root of 49 minus 40 is 9. Okay. All over 2. This is equals to minus 7 plus or minus square root of 9 is 3. All over 2. Okay. So this is equals to, if you take the first number, that is minus 7, and add it plus 3, we have minus 4 all over 2. And then that is 2. You see the first minus here is correct. Now, if you take the second one, which is minus 7 minus 3 is minus 10 all over 2. And that is minus 5. You see that this is correct. So the answer here is correct. Okay. So we go to the next one. So we are done with the first one. We are working on the second one. So the second one there, our A is the coefficient of t squared, which is 3. And our B is the coefficient of t, which is minus 13. And our C is the constant, which is minus 10. Okay. So remember, we are going to substitute. This is number 2 we are solving. So we are going to quadratic formula, which says that x equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So our b is minus 13. So that is minus 13 plus or minus square root of minus 13 squared minus 4. Our a is 3 and our c is minus 10. All right. All over 2a, 2 times 3. And this is equals to minus 13 is plus 13 plus or minus square root of 13 squared is 169 minus 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 10 is 120, but it's plus, so plus 120. 12 times this plus 120 all over 6. All right, because our A is 6, so 3 times 2 is 6. So this is equals to 13 plus or minus square root of 169 plus 120 is 982. All right, all over 6. So can someone help me with the square root of 289? Square root of 289. What is the square root of 289? Let me solve it. Square root of 289. So square root of 289 is 17. Okay. So we have seen how this one is true. So square root of 289 is 17. So this is equals to 13 plus or minus 17 all over 6. Okay, this is equals to, if we work with the positive, 13 plus 17 is 30 over 6. And the answer is 5. Or 13 minus 17. 13 minus 17. 13 minus 17 is minus 4. Okay? And that is minus 4 all over 6. So this will give us minus 2 all over 3. You see? So the answer here, t is 5, or t is equals to 2 or minus 2 over 3. So this one is correct. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is that either of the equation you choose to use, you arrive at the same answer. So we've solved this. All right? Now we'll solve the next question, which is this one. So I'm solving the last question. All right? So we are solving the last question, okay? Which is this one we are leaving there. We are solving the last question. This is equals to minus 2 over 3. So we are solving this one. So here our A is equal to 1. Our B is equal to 1. Our C is equal to minus 12. So you are going to put it into the equation. X is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right. I keep going behind the camera just to see whether there are comments so I can reply to it. Okay. So no new comments. Then let's go. So this is equals to our b is 1 minus 1 plus or minus square root of minus 1 squared minus 4 times a. Our a is 1 times our c is minus 12 all over 2a, 2 times 1, minus b plus or minus. So this is equals to minus 1 plus or minus square root of. Now minus 1 all square will give us 1. 4 times 1 will give us 4. 4 times 12 will give us 48. Then minus times minus will give us plus 48 all over 2. And this is equals to minus plus or minus square root of 48 plus 1 is 49. All right. Minus 1 all over 2. And this is equal to, all right, let me clean here. and this is equal to minus 1 plus or minus square root of 49 is 7 all over 2. Okay, and this is equals to, if we consider the first sign, minus 1 plus 7 give us plus 6 all over 2, or if we consider the next one, minus 1 minus 7 give us minus 8 all over 2. So our x is equals to 6 divided by 2 will give us 3, or minus 6 divided by 2 give us minus 4. And you can see we have minus 4 or plus 3. You see that the answer is all correct. Okay, the answer is very correct. So that is correct answer to the question. So having solved that, we will end the class very soon. So having said that, all right. So having said that, we want to thank you guys for joining the live class today. All right. We'll be doing classes from time to time. We're doing classes from time to time because we need to learn a whole lot of things in mathematics. All right. So I want you to always know that you can subscribe, follow us, and learn maths. We are not charging you anything for your maths. So we take our time, we teach, and you learn. Very important. So if you're joining us now, you can watch the class later, watch it from beginning to the end so that you know and learn how to solve quadratic equation correctly. We have taught what we learned today in this class is what is a quadratic equation, how to identify a quadratic equation. Then we learned um, methods of solving quadratic equation step by step. We did it step by step, teaching it so that you can understand it perfectly. So please, if you're not following us, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to our channel. Don't waste time anymore because you'll be learning a whole lot. All right. We have days for our challenges. So we have days for our challenges. I want to bring up a standard math calendar for both Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, the same name, Dr. V Maths. So feel free to follow us, subscribe, and learn with us. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys so much. Bye-bye. Have you subscribed? I'm waiting for you to subscribe. Waiting for you to subscribe. Subscribe. Let me go. Waiting for subscription. You subscribe, I go. Yes. Oops. Just anything you want to watch. Someone said, can you please explain again? Yes, I wanted to actually explain again, but I forgot. All right. So all you need to do is please just go back there, you know, watch it again. I believe if you watch it again, you understand it. I did it step by step explanation. Maybe you didn't start from beginning to watch. So please help me go back there and watch again. Please, if you enjoyed our class, the only thank you we want from you is just a thumbs up. Thank you. I like the class. Just give us a like. That's all. Don't ask for much. If you can share it, good. Share to Facebook, share to YouTube, very okay. Please feel free to support us with your comments. Tell us how you feel about the class. Tell us how you feel about your class. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? I'm going. Did you subscribe? Hit the subscribe button. Very important. Thank you so much. Bye bye.